Healthcare.
Spectre Studios, playing for the spirit of the game.
Malifaux is a world aside from our own. Located through the Great Breach, it uses Gothic, steampunk, and Victorian horror with a dose of the Wild West thrown in to inject fun and depth into the magical lawlessness of a world rife with monsters, necropunks, man-machine hybrids, gunslingers, and power-hungry politicos.
Episode 2, To Kill a Merc. Hey everybody, Benito here with
Jake, Spectre Foreman.
and we are here basically at my house because this is a rare day I have a day off, and we thought about it and was like, we need to get more of these Malifaux campaign in. So this is the second episode of that. You've already seen Carl and John go at it with Arcanist and Gremlins. We're back at it with Arcanist on my side, and you have the Outcasts, right? So I'm going to be leading my little party. I'll kind of show you with Cassandra, and you were being
Hannah.
So that's what we're going to try. We're going to try our luck at this first round of things from what Jake oversaw. I was a little rough on the boys from last game, but we're going to have a little fun getting into things. So I'll try to get first things out. We're still using the Wandering Mercenary, so we'll show you those mercenaries in our group from that. But we are doing the Reconnoiter strategy. So we're going to look to kind of hold back. Maybe this may cause us to be a little calm about not going after each other because of this. So
there won't be a big pile in the middle, probably.
A little bit. Yeah, we got to move around a little bit because we both are going to announce our schemes as well, and we're still playing with the original Malifaux second edition one, not the upgraded schemes yet, Gaining Grounds one. So we're doing Protect Territory and Bodyguard.
Yeah, chose the same ones.
Same one. So that since one person has to kind of go out there though, so we'll see exactly how that model pretty much plays itself out. Mine will be Angelica. She's the one I'm going to protect. You are protecting
the strong arm suit.
Strong arm suit. So that's what we're looking at to try to get a little bit of script. To
Best
kind of
defense is a good offense.
Let's see what happens with this. We're again, these are pretty new crews for us as we're getting into this. The whole reason for the campaign. So we're going to try to get through as best we possibly can with our rules, learning and understanding without butchering them or forgetting too much. So I have a lot of new models that I have never really had a chance to really kind of mess with, so it's been a big difference for me going from where I'm going to. I was an original guild member in Gremlin, and now I'm going heavy into Arcanist and Neverborn, so it's quite a bit of a difference for me. And you kind of flipped real quickly on your Outcast.
Yeah, the Hannah's going to be the biggest learning one because she's got more nuance than the Victorias, where you just run up and swing swords at people and try to kill as much as you can.
Be tricky. But this is a game about, so, you know, as we're learning and going from, and I think Jake came back and kind of let me know as when I put the video together, that this isn't about also killing though. You gotta think about these strategies to win the game. Doesn't matter who you lose and what's kind of going on. In the campaign, you gotta think about it a little bit more because that's your crew and they'll have injuries and stuff to worry about. But the victory points are what's gonna keep you going on and getting crews, so we got to really think about that if we want to keep going in a campaign, or someone's going to jump way ahead with a pretty hefty crew, right?
Yeah.
So, all right, we'll see how our two battle it out with Arcanist versus Outcast.
All right, here's the starting Outcast crew for Shifting Loyalties, being led by Hannah, and then I also decided to bring the Free Corps Librarian, Free Corps Trapper, and the Strong Arm suit. And because we are doing the Wandering Mercenary, I brought along Johan as my mercenary.
Alright, I have the Arcanist led by Cassandra. So we have Cassandra here. She's going to be helped out by Angelica, who's always good to help out the dance troupe. We have a performer. I brought two gunsmiths because they're pretty cool. And our mercenary will be an orderly from the starter box. If you remember the new starter box that comes out with the guild, he'll be coming over to help out. Well, folks, here you have the Arcanist, led by Cassandra, taking on Hannah of the Outcasts.
think Cassandra had herself a little secret medical run that she was doing secretly for, old Paulette. And Hannah, she must have heard about it. Didn't want any of that business getting past her without her, getting a little piece of that to make sure she knew what was going on and stuff. Johan decided he was going to help out, and the Free Court were all ready to pitch in against the Arcanist. And, well, the Free Court trapper started moving around, taking on that gunsmith. Not to much avail. Angelica, well, she likes to set a stage, except dropping those scheme markers all around there. And the other showgirls kept doing the same, with Cassandra in the back, placing everything well. As you can see, the trappers took it a shot, but if I ain't way with him, he missed bad. And the other gunsmiths kind of like moving up, placing their shots back. Did hit the trapper a bit, got him a little wounded, but he was alright. The librarian was close by. And they kept putting things about. Well, Cassandra thought she could take on that strong arm, and well, he was all ready for him. You see, fate helped him quite a bit, knocked Cassandra right down and good. Good thing though, she was able to shake off that wound later. She was real woozy. And the orderly kind of came right charging at. Maybe he can do something at that big fella. A lot of gunfighting was still on the right side with the trapper and the gunsmith. And Angelica, she was darn right upset, and she led a charge back to Strongarm, but again, Strongarm just kept knocking them all down. And Johan, he wasn't getting any luck over there when he started charging the gunsmiths. A lot of black fate happened all around there. A little long of a fight, but still going on. Meanwhile, Strongarm, he was just like knocking everybody around. He was having a joyous show. And that other gunsmith came up, and well, Johan went down, so there was a mercenary scheme that they were all working on. So they all had that, started moving around the area a bit, but Johan did get a marker down. And as Hannah started moving around to finally get some sort of strong arm, like he really needed it, because he knocked the whole side out. 4 people all by himself. That's what he did, alright. Well, the gunsmith got a scheme marker over there, and as you can see, Strongarm got himself all the way across. Poisoned as he was, but yep, he still did it.
Alright, we have finished up 5 turns of the Arcana mission, and it's easy to say, well, it wasn't actually
It was
easy.
close.
The Outcast came about a part of it.
1 point victory.
I messed up. I will say one of the things that you kind of looked in, I will say my gunsmith had a chance to shoot your guy early before I charged it with my orderly when I just started throwing everybody at the orderly or the strong arm guy.
And he's a beast.
And he beat everybody up.
My first game with him, and he was a friggin' beast.
Impressive?
But
impressive.
Well, the thing that really helped them was the red Joker, when I cheated red Joker for damage on Cassandra.
Yeah, totally.
To get
totally wiped her.
Charged up fist, so
yeah, but
10 points of damage.
It was also a poor choice, really, because the armor 2+ meant that with the wounds, I really had to go through a lot of it. Wasn't kind of thinking that through pretty well, and he motored up. Good combination for the Free Corp with good buffing, good healing ability all around that.
He was on the cusp of being dead, and then once he cleared everybody up, the librarian and Hannah, using her make a new entry, they both healed him.
Yeah, got him right going on.
And he moved up and got the bodyguard with more than 50% health.
At the end of it, the gunsmiths, because they really kind of kept the sniper down a little bit, were able to put one more up to give me another victory condition to kind of even up a little bit there. So I knew they could ignore armor, so I avoided that play and went the other side. Yeah, so you're maybe one on each side. Yeah, to kind of have one on each side might work better in the future. Totally. Yeah, I wasn't too sure exactly. I was thinking about the sniper kind of ruling a bit. I was just trying to go after him a little bit, but lessons trading shots with each other. But one thing, part of it, I don't have to check for injuries like that, even though most of my crew got, except the gunsmiths would left, all the other dancers, the troop got wiped out. So you can definitely tell who the professional fighters are. But I had such low cards in my hand, always had a 1 or 2 in my hand, so they all got away scot-free. Maybe it was a friendly Free Corp beatdown. And you ended up, from the strats and schemes, getting 2 script. I got 3 script. But we both killed each other's mercenaries, which gives us each extra 6. So we loaded up on script in the first week, which is nice. And we were talking about actually getting him free for our group, but that's not happening because we're both feeding. Because we both just annihilated each other. And I don't think it'll really work that well anyways. He healed for a little bit, but he was not all that cool. And Johan was just
I threw him in to keep the gunsmiths busy.
Yeah, he did, and it took a while, but he was the most unluckiest mercenary in the world.
Black Joker City. Holy cow.
3 times, wasn't it? From one way or another, between either hit 2 for hitting, 1 for damage, no, 1 for being hit. I think he also too. He got nailed.
3 Black Jokers.
He got a little lucky once because I drew the Black Joker, but
we had my first. I had never seen a red Joker and a black Joker flipped against each other in a duel, and we did that. That was pretty funny.
that was about some of the craziness, but really good. I mean, it's a funny thing. Is like my mood was kind of getting a little rough. I was trying to deal with that armor part of it, but when you really look at the schemes, you got to go after the schemes, and we had it early.
Squeaked out a win.
Yeah, we had it early.
If I hadn't healed up the strong arm suit in the last turn, it would have ended up being a tie.
and if I could have tied him up, because like you said, you had to get him 8 inches over the thing like that, and we actually would have had a 5. We would have been 4-4. So that's how close it is. If you're paying attention to the schemes, we both did that. I think no one really exposed.
Killing is not the most important thing.
No, and you didn't expose anybody to it. We kept people around for to really resist a lot of the other stuff like that. So I think it worked out really, really well with that aspect there. So it's lessons to be learned from going forward as And I thought that was going to be the way my play was with Colette once I get the rest of the troops in there. But that was pretty neat. And realized the performer actually is she can be a little more dangerous with that poison right off the bat.
So
right off the bat. So
put 4 poison in 1 turn. So that's the rest of the game. I'm going to lose a point. Damage every turn.
So something early to kind of think about a little bit there. So walked away with some lessons or learned with that aspect there. I think you had a nice little combo with the sniper and your. Oh, what is she?
The librarian. Healed them a few times.
Pop in, take a shot, come back and heal.
I wanted to keep her with Hannah in the strong arm suit, so Hannah could take her healing cast or her damaging cast, because she could use either of them. But the trapper kept getting hit, so it ended up being more beneficial to keep him up. Yeah, the gunsmith we're keeping him hammered, but again, the combo was pretty well and hid behind the building very well. So we hope you guys enjoyed. Don't forget to subscribe, and if you want to be a part of this, don't forget to help us with Patreon. We're definitely looking for support on that aspect there, and we'll be having more. And you can join us on SpectreStudios.us and talk to us on the forums, especially things if you see below with a comment, or help us build our crews for the campaigns, because at least me and Jacob have a little bit more money to spend. I got some money in my pocket. So we'll enjoy that. Thanks again.
Spectre Studios takes you into the story with Benito Senense on YouTube, and you can take an active role as a hero in the videos by supporting the studio on our Patreon page at patreon.com/Benito Senense. Malifaux is a tabletop skirmish game produced by Weird Miniatures LLC. It can be found at weirdgames.net and at your local retail game store. Remember to stay safe out there, because bad things happen.